you, especially the youth who make up a large percentage of the population, they somehow, or should I say not just in Nigeria, every part of the world, the youth actually are the heartbeat of the elections because, of course, your participation is often felt as well as seen. Our topic this morning, credible elections in Nigeria, our desire indeed, the role of political aspirants, and of course the youth. And my guest is already seated. When you see him, of course you agree that he is apt for the discussion. He is Comrade Jamaine. Imotuniye is a politician and my Edo brother. So nice to have you.
Pleasure.
With your cap and your blazer, you're a Nigerian youth, a typical Nigerian youth, and you're taking such a huge responsibility going into politics. A lot of people will stay on the sideline and talk and tell you how it ought to be, and argue and fight and bicker, but in recent times, it's been called for the youth to stick out your neck and walk the talk. You've decided to do that, as it were. This morning, we're taking a look at credible elections. I started by talking about 28 March 2015. A record has been set, not just in Nigeria, in Africa as a whole. Those light. Oftentimes, we hear about the light at the end of the tunnel. And when it comes to the election of March 2015, we actually saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Sure. Nigerian youth, stick in your neck. Why did you decide to come out as a Nigerian youth into politics to walk the talk?
Basically, we've been so underrated, and just like you rightly said, the youth of every nation carries a large sum of responsibility, and we've actually shown it in the past. And the reason I actually came up to walk the walk is that we've been so pushed back, and we just stay behind and say we go about it. But the worst part of it is fear, the fear of the unknown. We've been robbed with fear. You tell you can't get it. You can't get a ticket, you can't get somewhere, you don't have a godfather, you don't have the finance, you don't have the cash to back up yourself. You don't have the cash to back up yourself. And another thing is you get discouraged by your family, which starts from home. Your wife will tell you, I don't want to lose my husband. Your children will tell you, I don't want to lose my dad, because it's a thing that you go in with. They think you have to share your blood. But at this point, we find out that where we are right now, we take an example from various nations like Liberia just finished up their own, Sierra Leone just had theirs, and other developed world. We've also seen that in every part of the world right now, the youth are the people that 80% I would say will determine what the system will run like. So I came out to actually let the youth know that there's somebody that is ready to
stick out his neck
and walk the walk, and all I need is for a fair play from our elderly that has been holding up the power for a very long time. We've not gotten anything from them. It's been a recycled process, a recycled program. Because whatever you recycle does not come out to be what is supposed to be.
Original anymore. It fades out gradually.
Exactly. So right now we want somebody, a vibrant person. We're tired of talking. We want to walk the walk. And as you see, the country is actually walking. The country has tuned us into like this is the time.
Okay.
And we have to get it.
Okay. Now, this is the first time that we're actually seeing youth come out, like I said earlier on. It's like a dawn of a new day, a dawning of a new era, because most times they talk like I said at my intro, but this time a lot of youthful faces are coming forward as from different parties as political aspirants for the next dispensation. But we're talking credibility. How do we get credible elections? What should be Do you belong to a party?
Yes, I do.
What's the name of your party?
Nigerian Conscience Party.
Nigerian Conscience Party. An aspirant of Nigerian Conscience Party, how do we get credible elections come 2019? What do you think, or what has been put in place to making sure that what happened in 2015, I beg your pardon, plays out in 2019? How do we get there?
Basically, to get into that, we first of all had to look into how we could define credible election. Credible election does not start from voting and counting the vote. Credible election starts from the grassroots, getting your voters registration card.
Okay.
And the entire system has to be overhauled. And apart from that, there's a interruption that has to go around the youth and the people that are not too informed about so many things on how they could impact the election coming up. So based on getting the card, the PVC card, that is where it actually starts. You educate people to go get their PVC card. They make it so difficult for you to get your PVC card. So what would you expect at the final stage of it? So, but that had not pushed the youth down. That had not taken any willingness out of the youth. People are still getting it, and I am sure with what we've seen so far, like I said, it has to do with orientation. Okay. We have to continuously guide people on how it will play out and letting them know that they should not relent their effort towards the election.
Now, talking about credible elections, it says credible elections are characterized by inclusiveness. Credible elections are characterized by transparency. Credible elections are characterized by accountability and competitiveness. How would a political aspirant inculcate all this into his character towards having a credible election come 2019? How do you begin to be inclusive in character, transparent in character, accountability, and of course the spirit of competition? How do you intend, or how would a political aspirant put all that together into his character towards making sure that we get there politically?
Politically,
inclusiveness, transparency, accountability, spirit of competition.
On the part of the aspirant, you have to. It's not a thing. It's not like a clip of a finger. It's a thing that the youth, whoever has the willingness to come out to stand the frame of what we are getting into. You build it up. It's like a child when you grow up. It depends on how the system you're being brought up with. You just have to develop into a mature adult. You guide your way into it. But like we know right now, getting into that getting the characteristics of what we're looking for, that does not depend on one person. It's a collective effort. But if you have to come up as a youth, you have to check yourself of various flaws. No one is perfect actually, but at the end of the day, it is the youth that will actually voice out what they want and push for it. So if the system sees that this person is the person that is coming out for the aspirant or whoever it is that is going to fight for the position has the credibility and has the capability, which of course right now we don't looking about financial capability, we're looking at a cashless election, because this is where the voters registration card can't. It's not about what you get, it's about securing your future. It's about having to know that with this aspirant I can get to my destiny. I will not be jobless, I will not be homeless, I will not stay in a house without light. There will be a sanitized education, and the system will run where the corruption will be checked. It can be totally eradicated at the point where it will be checked and be basically put in the right perspective.
Okay, before we go, Nigerian youth have been told to vote credible candidates and not parties. Do you agree to that?
Of course, yes. That is the key.
Vote credible candidates,
Yes.
and not
The party. No, it has to do with everything. You got to vote the party and the candidate, because like if it depends on your party right now. Whoever party is, let me not call name, but we all know who we are. Whoever party that brings in a candidate, and you're looking at this candidate, okay, this candidate is supposed to be a good person, but the people pushing him, he's got godfather, he's got people to push him, to tell him what to say. He wouldn't go there and represent himself. He's going to represent the godfather because he's being poked to do what they ask him to do, not what it has to do. It has an agenda of the party. For NCP, we have a 10K program that we're going to carry out that tells what NCP stands for, which is pure democracy, government of the people and by the people and for the people. But from other parties, you're not going there to do what you actually would do as a good person that you portray to be. But because you got godfathers around behind you that is telling you what to do and how to do it, you basically will be like a puppet. They use you when they want and how they want it. And that is not what we want this time. We want a total change, the real change.
Do you have any ambition of running for any office? Do you have an ambition?
At this point, I'll lay low for it. My ambition right now is to educate my youth and our other fellow Nigerians, to let them know this time is a cashless run. This time you have to vote your conscience and not vote your cash.
Now, I want you to do that. That's your camera there. I want you to talk to Nigerian youth right now.
All right, my intention right now is to tell the Nigerian youth that this is the time to run a cashless race. This is not the time to run with your stomach. You run with your heart. You run with your conscience. Vote your conscience. Look critically. Compare and contrast which party you're putting on. People come in sheep clothed with a wolf clothed with sheep clothing. So you have to be careful to know how you cast your vote. And believe me, honestly, your vote can. Don't be afraid. We can make it at this time. This is our time. Everything is working to our favor. Let's go get it.
Okay, let's go get it is what Comrade Jamaine Imotuniye is saying this morning. Did I get it right? Imotuniye. It is names this morning. I really tried pronouncing these names. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. He is a Nigerian youth, and he says that we all have to go out and get our PVC. It is not stomach infrastructure this time. It is destiny infrastructure. All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We've been talking on the topic credible elections in Nigeria, role of political aspirants, and the youth. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mother.
So that's the show this morning. We want to thank our first guest who came on the show, and of course, Comrade Ame, who is a youth who seemed to be in a rush and a hurry this morning. So that is the show this morning. My name is Annie Beniche. Make sure you go out and get your PVCs, and of course, when you have a project at hand, make sure you call professionals, so at the end of the day you spend less for more. Go out and succeed. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.
The youth involvement in violence, election violence, I think it's hinged on poverty, really. I don't want to blame the youth. I want to blame the government, because I think they are taking advantage of the fact that they have created a situation that warrants the desire of the youth to earn money. And so this is the reason why they have that urge to answer to their call. And especially when it has to do with this issue regarding violence, has become the problem. So I feel it is the government. For me, I will hinge it on the government. This is a bad leadership that is causing the issue regarding the influence of the youth regarding the violence.
I don't blame the youth, because all the power that be, they are the one inciting them for this violence. They are inciting them in the sense that the people that the party that are not working fine, they are not, they are trying to make to just disrupt the election. Those are the people that are trying to instigate the youth against other party. It's good to tell our youth not to succumb to all these politicians' agitation, because most of them, their children are not here. Their children are in abroad studying. Most of them has their passport in their hand now. Their passport is in their hand. So they will just come here to come and take another person's children to start going about the street and then causing problem. So that's what I see in it. So they will go and call their own children. Anybody that wants you to lead, let him put his children in front, and then people follow. If they can do it, fine.
I can't blame any youth for all this. I will only say that our leader are at fault because they are the ones that induce them with money. Actually, our parents also have fault in all those things. They are faulty because if you kind of brought up your child the way it ought to be, we won't see anyone in the garage or any park. Talk less of creating any violence. Even if money is being given to you, you will still kind of think twice before you go into it. So at this point in time, I would say all this problem, the violence and everything, is caused by the government. Those are in power who has money to dispense to the youth, and because of the lack of money and everything, everybody wants to get money. By all means, they want to be involved. So whatever it takes, they are ready to do it. So at this point in time, the fault actually is for the government.
We are not taking good care of them at all. There's massive unemployment, there's corruption. Then we the elders, we have not shown a very good example for them. So it's very sad, but we hope the incoming government will take good care of them so that the youth will be busy, they'll be employed. Then the idle mind is a playground for the devil. The idle mind is the devil's workshop, really. But for now, we advise the youth to please take it easy and make sure they participate in the electoral process. Because they change their destinies. They should keep it in their hands. They should actually talk with their protest with their votes. Please don't involve in electoral violence, please.
The youth should not be blamed. It's the people making use of them, because the youth have been brainwashed for the fact that they are youths. They have exuberance, and because of lack of employment. So any youth given any kind of tips will go on for violence, and so the youth are not to be blamed. It's those ones making use of them should be blamed. It's not the youth. The youth are free.
Well, the youth they've been misinformed, and I think that's misinformation is responsible for most of the violence that's been going on. So, but I would lay the whole blame squarely at the foot of the politicians, because there's this do or die affair about politics.